Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Friday live stream. Now, this is, as I've done a few times in the past, a road live stream. Hopefully, for the last time this summer, I am on the road. This time it was for vacation, for my own vacation, which has been amazing. And I'm almost home, but making my last stop at my in-laws' house. So that's where I am. That's why we're doing the laptop video with the laptop sound and all that. Anyway, hopefully it'll still be fun. Today, because I don't have my normal setup, as you can see, I'm floor streaming. I'm sitting on the floor, got the couch behind me. I'm not even sitting on the couch. But because I don't have my normal setup, we're not doing anything fancy. We're not doing any polls or any brackets or slideshows or anything like that. Today is pure AMA. Okay. Today's going to be, let's see. Sorry. Zarek is saying at school right now, can't really hear you. I hope that people can hear me. Maybe you just have to keep the sound down. That's okay. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's AMA, but also, as you can see on the ticker, what should I cover? That's going to be something that I want to get out of today is what do you guys want me to do videos on for the next few weeks? I love hearing your ideas. I get lots of ideas from you, just generally, reading your comments and whatnot. But yeah, nice green screen background. Yeah, it's you got the doilies up there. Yeah, whatever. Kind of an in-laws house aesthetic. That's what I'm going for today. That's what we get. Let me know what your ideas are. We'll hash out some general streaming questions and any other questions you might have. If I can answer them, I'll be happy to. I really ought to call these Q and R's, question and response. I may not actually have an answer, but I'll at least have a response. Joe is asking AMA. I assume you're asking what is AMA. AMA means ask me anything. So you can literally ask me anything. Doesn't mean I will answer it. It's got to be within reason. But yeah, that's what AMA is. So as you guys are thinking of stuff to write down, I'll just go through a few of these things right now. Let's see. Shoaib has an idea, so I'm really excited to hear that one. Let's see. How was my week? It was pretty darn good. I got to say, it was pretty darn good. I just got back from Paris. I lived for a couple of years in France, and so I try to go back there every once in a while. And with the pandemic last year and whatnot, I was really itching. And so as soon as I got vaccinated, please go get vaccinated. I got vaccinated. I got everything set up. So me and my wife bought some tickets way back at the beginning of the year to go out, and it did work out. So yeah, glad to have had the chance to go out. Went to a few different places in France, and hung out, ate great food, saw a couple sites, but mostly it was just kind of chill out time in France, and so that was really great. Let's see. I could find myself at the super. I'm not making fun of my in-laws. When I bought the house that I live in, I fell in love with it because the real estate agent was taking us to a few places, and she found this place that was built in the 1950s. It was kind of this post-war neighborhood where all the returning vets, they were finally able to buy their homes, and so they had all these homes that have been built in the 1950s. For those vets, and so this house has been around for a while, and it's got a basement, where maybe you live in a place with no basement, or basements aren't really a thing, but they are in Utah. But it's a basement with 7-foot ceilings, very common for a house in that area at that time. And I walked in, I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's grandma chic, I think is what I called it. And my real estate agent at the time just burst out laughing. She's like, that's perfect. That's the exact right way to describe it. And I love that stuff. So no, I'm not making fun of it. I'm just observing. That's what it is. It's in-law chic. And I'm not making fun of it. I'm happy about it. Okay. So let's see. Shoaib says, how about you review AMC Plus? That's a great idea. That's actually a fantastic idea. I'm going to be, You know what I'm going to do? You know how I'm going to keep track of these, you guys? I'm going to keep things so simple for myself. I am going to, I could take a screenshot, but instead I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to snap photos of your responses here, and then I'll just collate those photos later. It's going to be fantastic. So AMC Plus would be a great one. It's one that, to be honest, I'm not all that familiar with. So if you have, any primer notes for me on AMC Plus, where you think it fits into the streaming landscape, please let me know. I would be more than happy to hear it. Let's see. Tu parles français? Oui, je parle français well enough. My accent in French, I found out, is still really good. It's been 15 years almost since I lived in France, but I kept my accent, and it's just the vocab. Vocab leaves, you forget this word or whatnot, but my fluency is still there. My accent is still there. Okay, this is a good one. Puzzle Girl says, will the YouTube TV and Roku thing ever be worked out? That's a great question. So Roku just finally patched things up with, who's the cable provider that they were having such trouble with? Was it Charter? I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think it was Charter, and Spectrum. They finally got the Spectrum app back up and running on Roku, and that was like, there were two last holdouts. There was I think it was the Spectrum app and the YouTube TV app, and so the YouTube TV app is like the last one that's just like not really working out yet. So will they patch things up? I have to imagine that they will. I think they have until the end of the year before their YouTube, not YouTube TV, but the actual YouTube app, before that contract expires. And if Roku lets that one go, that will be a huge blow to what they're doing over there on that platform. Obviously, if you lose Roku, you lose a lot. So they have to patch things up, and I imagine that the YouTube TV thing will be patched up at the same time. As they rehash the details on that contract. So will they do it? I mean, we don't know for sure. Crazy things could happen, and Roku could decide that they don't need YouTube. That's possible. But yeah, it got a couple questions on this one. Will they make up? I hope so. But if they don't, it's just, how should I put this? Roku has, for me, been really dominant for a long time as far as like what's the most recommendable, what's the thing that people should be, what's the device that people should be buying for their friends, buying for themselves, whatever. It's Roku has for a long time had just a death grip on the market as far as like recommendability. They kind of shared that with Fire TV for a long time, but now Google TV, the new Chromecast with Google TV, is just awesome, and really a really highly recommendable device. And so if they don't make up, if Google decides that they want to throw their muscle around and set terms that Roku can't keep up with, then I could see it being a situation where that Chromecast becomes even more attractive, vis-a-vis the Roku and the recommendability factor. So I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. I'm glad it's during your lunchtime. I'm glad I could accommodate. Let's see. The sofa matches your hair. Good choice. Oh, yes. Well, I'm also dealing with some very interesting natural light choices here. So, okay. Before we go any further, now that we've been going for a few minutes, oh my gosh, has it already been 10 minutes? It's crazy. Wanted to recommend that everybody go to the giveaways page. Now, I didn't stream last week. I was overseas at the time, and I probably could have live streamed, but it's vacation, and I didn't want to take a break from vacation to live stream. Sorry, everybody, but you're all very important to me. But so is vacation. But we did the 1-year Disney Plus subscription giveaway last time. So 2 weeks ago, you had 2 weeks to enter. This one, the winner of the 1-year Disney Plus subscription is Kristen Brenner. Kristen Brenner. I hope you're here, Kristen Brenner. If you're not, that's okay. We'll still email Kristen and let her know. By the way, if you enter these giveaways, then keep an eye on your email. Keep an eye on your junk mail, whitelist. I think it would come from info@reviews.org. It might come from giveaways@reviews.org. Either way, if you can whitelist that domain, reviews.org, after you enter, go to your email provider and say, make sure all these emails come through. Because we've had a few people who have won, and we email them, we don't hear back. We end up trying to hunt down somebody else to win. And so anyway, if you enter to win, make sure you've got that you have reviews.org whitelisted on your email provider, so that you get those emails. Okay, so Kristen Brenner, congratulations. For the rest of you, go to reviews.org/giveaways to check out the next giveaway. This week it is an Anker USB-C high-speed charger. So if you basically it's a charger that is meant to give a little more juice to your phone, to your tablet, to your whatever uses USB-C. And so I think Tashaka reviewed this one a while ago and liked it. So we decided to give that one away. Go check it out, reviews.org/giveaways. Okay, all right. Why did I leave this sofa matches your hair comment up that whole time? Oh, well. Thomas says, I enjoy your info on cutting the cord. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, gosh. I think I missed a few here. I apologize if I'm missing too many. Here we go. So Shoaib says, I think AMC is trying to compete with all the mainstream services. If they are, then they need to do more. They need to do more advertising, where they probably do some advertising on cable, on satellite, but I don't see any advertising for them online. I don't see any advertising for them on, other streaming services or whatever. Where I do see advertising for Hulu. I see advertising for YouTube TV. I see advertising for, obviously Netflix. And obviously doing what I do, reviewing all these streaming services and streaming devices, I am a ripe target for those targeted ads. Even just talking about this right now, my phone is probably listening to us talk about this, and so it's going to serve me up some streaming ads. So I kind of feel like I'm in a good position to say they're not doing enough advertising, if that's the case. If they are trying to compete with the other more mainstream services, then they need to get on the advertising ball. But I reserve the right to change my mind on that. I mean, I'll do some research when I look into that. But okay, so just as a reminder, for those of you who just joined, I'm kind of going through the chat over there, and taking a few of your questions. And as we go through those, I'm watching for ideas for future videos that you would like me to do, things you'd like us to cover on the channel, whether in the streaming space or another. If you have an idea for, some smart home stuff or some mobile tech or, internet issues, whatever, what should I cover? What should we cover on this channel? Hit the chat, let me know. And I'm doing a very high-tech system of snapping photos of those those ideas so I can remember them later. Okay, when will Hulu go to international? Never. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say never. But the thing is, they don't necessarily need to. So having just been in France, it was a very interesting thing where when I've got the Disney Plus app on my phone, and when I went into Disney Plus there, obviously it knows where I'm connecting from. I'm not using a VPN on my phone for that at the moment. And so when I connect it, it says, "Oh, you're in France, and so we're going to serve you up European Disney Plus, French Disney Plus, and Disney Plus over there is it's basically Disney Plus plus a good chunk of other stuff as well, a good chunk of Hulu content, etc. It's not as neat as just saying like it's Hulu plus Disney Plus smashed together. They're missing titles. They have titles you wouldn't find here in the States, etc., etc. But yeah, it was interesting to see that. And so they have a service set up already where they don't really have to bring the Hulu brand over there, overseas, whether it's in Europe or Asia or wherever. It's kind of a similar thing with Hotstar. So Hotstar is an Indian brand that Disney owns. Now it's a streaming brand, and they have Disney Plus Hotstar or Hotstar Disney Plus, whatever it's called. So they can kind of mix and match and combine and all that stuff. So they don't need Hulu to be a thing necessarily. Let's see. Okay. This is a good one. Andy asks, what's your advice to new cord cutters? Mine is think of the shows you watch, not the channels. I got to think about that one. Think of the shows you watch, not the channels. Interesting one, Andy. That's good. I think that's a perfectly valid piece of advice. My advice. So I think, okay, here we go. Instead of trying to agree or disagree with you, let me just take this tack. This is my advice to new cord cutters. If I had to just give one piece of advice, it's give up live TV. Live TV, don't need it. You just don't need it, with the possible exception of sports for those who enjoy sports. And there are ways around that. But if you want to save money and you want to kind of get with the new program, then forget live and just understand that you'll be watching things on demand. So there, how's that? That's my number one piece of advice to new cord cutters. Let's see, William, first time here. Welcome, glad to have you. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. And, this is a great candidate for Q&R. As I was saying earlier, it's I should do Q&R, question and response, instead of question and answer. Streaming and hockey, kind of confused with the ESPN HBO Max thing for the upcoming season. And I'm not a hockey guy, so I haven't looked into this. But this is a good hot tip for me. I'm going to take a little photo of this because this is a great... This is a great prompt for me. Okay, yes, that's great. So kind of confused with the ESPN HBO Max thing. I vaguely know what you're talking about, but I haven't looked into it, so I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. Let's see. Right now, Shoaib says, where am I right now? I am in southern Utah. So I live in northern Utah. It's a very tall state. So I'm about 5.5 hours from home at 80 miles per hour on the freeway. So it's very tall state. Okay. Oh man, I know I'm missing a bunch. Okay. So Joe is saying it's still Disney on the giveaways page. I'm sure that's being updated. I apologize if it's not updated yet. Keep that page bookmarked. But Joe says it's still Disney on the giveaway page. So sorry about that. It'll get updated. Don't worry. Do you ever use the Smart View feature on Android phones? I can't say that I do. I'm being not much of a phone guy myself. I'm not like a phone expert. I'm not sure I even know what the Smart View feature is. Maybe it's one of those things that I use and I don't even know about it. But I'm going to take a photo of that, so I make sure to check that out. Okay. Oh, somebody asking about premium. Oh, okay. Aha. Deborah asks, is premium YouTube worth $15 a month? What are the benefits of premium? Thank you. Okay. You know what? That's a great one. How come I haven't ever covered YouTube Premium on the YouTube channel? That's crazy. So this is fantastic. What a great idea. So thank you, Deborah. I'm gonna snap a photo for that one. So basically, oh, you know what? Andy kind of got into this a little bit. Main benefit, no commercials. Secondary benefit, YouTube Music. So, oh, interesting. They're testing a video only sub in Europe. Okay, so yeah, Andy's got it exactly right. The main benefit is no commercials. So YouTube is it's pretty nice in the skippable ads. You know, not every ad is skippable. They do have some where you got to sit through the 15 seconds, occasionally 30 seconds, although that's much more rare. But most of the time you can skip after 6 seconds. And that's nice, right? Or you can kind of you can decide if you're interested in an ad enough to keep watching or not. But even then, it's nice to get rid of ads, and so that's going to be really great, especially if you watch a ton of YouTube. If you watch a lot of YouTube, if that's your primary streaming service, then absolutely premium is worth it. And then the other thing is YouTube Music, like you said. Andy mentions YouTube Music. I don't think we'll get a ton into that, but basically, being able to go through playlists without the commercials, being able to listen like on my phone. If I'm not on YouTube Premium and I'm listening to music on my phone, and then I turn off the screen, it turns off the video, right? But with but with YouTube Music, if I'm listening to music on YouTube, I can turn off my phone, keep the music going just like you would on Spotify or whatever. So there are music benefits to that as well. So yeah, but that's a fantastic question, Deborah. Thank you for that one. YouTube Premium is something that we should get into. Let's see. Zarek says, I think Netflix might be bought by Disney. It's possible. It's possible. I don't see it yet. I don't see any of the necessary groundwork being laid for that yet. But I suppose anything's possible. But okay. Let's see what else you guys got. Bill says, I've been reading good things about the upcoming Google Smart Doorbell. No subscription necessary. Yes, I believe Steve, who does our smart home stuff on the channel generally, I think he's already on the list for the device. I can't remember if he's on the list for when it comes out or if he gets a review device to review before the official launch date. But yeah, we're on top of that. Yeah, that's a great one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. The subscription model, I think, makes a ton of sense in a lot of circumstances, but it's gotten to the point where subscriptions have become the norm. Like everybody wants to get their $5 a month, or sometimes in the case of smart home stuff, they want to get their $40 a month for whatever it is. Where sometimes that just doesn't really make sense. Or I don't know. I don't know enough about the economics of video doorbells and whatnot to say for sure, but it doesn't make sense to me that you'd have to pay as much as some of these companies charge just to have access to your own internal stream. So yeah, if somebody can help get rid of that, that would be great. And if it's Google, if it's Amazon, I don't care, whoever it is. Okay. Let's see. Joe says, review how great the Xfinity Roku app is. I've been locked into Xfinity through the HOA for 25 years. 25 years. And since the app, I finally used the cable TV I've been paying for. Hey, there you go. That's not a bad idea. Joe, thanks for this one. This is I like this one. Let me snap a photo of this. This is going to be so much fun to go back and just see basically like selfies. I'm taking weird selfies of myself on my computer screen, but this is a great one. And I might want to go not just into the Xfinity app, but other cable apps as well. Like we just talked about the Spectrum app a few minutes ago, and them patching things up between Spectrum and Roku. So yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Let's see. Dabbit. I'm going Ian. That's right. I'm just calling you Ian. Always remember that Craig is always right. This is just generally good advice. I think once a day it should be a daily mantra. You know, as you're brushing your teeth, just remember. You know, like every time you brush your teeth, it's Craig is always right. Hey, whatever. That was nobody gift that. That was terrible. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Do you know more about Canadian TV? I don't know. I know that there were a few like French Canadian cartoons that I watched when I was a kid, and I know that we import many of our best TV and movie stars from Canada, but I don't know a ton about Canadian TV. I have enough struggles just keeping up with how streaming and cable and satellite and all this stuff, how it all works in the U.S. So I have not tried very hard to make myself an expert on TV issues in any other country. So my apologies. Oh, whoa. Oh, I love this. I love this from William. What's the next best alternative to YouTube? Oh, smokes. That could be an interesting video. Because right now the answer is none. There is no like great alternative to YouTube. There have been many over the years, but none have really taken off. You know, there's what do we have right now? Vimeo. What was it back in the day? It was like Daily Motion was a European version, I think. There's another one kind of along those lines that I can't quite remember. Basically, there's a lot of those services out there. They just don't have the same breadth of user-generated content. There's one of my all-time favorite YouTube stories is when I was trying to change the headlamp on my 2003 Hyundai Elantra, and they had some weird mechanism. You know, I pulled it apart thinking like, hey, I've changed a million headlamps before. This shouldn't be a big deal. And I'd never seen this thing. I was like, it fell apart in my hands. I couldn't figure out how to put it back together again. So I hopped on YouTube and I typed in change headlamp 2003 Hyundai Elantra, and boom, right there, number one result. It was like a 3-minute video of a guy walking you right through it step by step. And you're not going to find that anywhere else on any other video service. So that kind of like helpfulness to the user is unique to YouTube. There are other streaming services like Vimeo. I mentioned Vimeo, like that are good for, it may be good for hosting video on your website or what have you, maybe sending video among family and friends or whatever. But it's not going to be as like social / video / whatever. This YouTube is just this unique thing that nobody has been able to come close to replicating as far as I'm concerned. If you have any candidates, let me know. But okay. Let's see. Ooh, this is interesting. Shoaib says, I bet Discovery Plus and HBO Max will have a bundle plan once their merger is complete, and it will compete with the Disney bundle. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot competes with the Disney bundle. Yeah, that could be interesting. So right now, HBO Max, you can get, I think it's $10 for the commercial supported plan, $15 for the no commercials plan. Discovery Plus is $5 a month, I want to say, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that could be an interesting thing to compete with, because the Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus bundle, did they bump that up to 12 if I'm remembering right? I think it was 11 before. I think it's 12 now, which is still a very low cost for those. But if you can get if you can get HBO Max plus Discovery Plus, Put those together, and if you can keep it at less than $15, then it's a reasonable, reasonable bit of competition. Okay. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. Okay. So Rick asked, what is, let's see, out of curiosity, how much is a monthly bill for Roku? There is no monthly bill for Roku. This is a great question. And, you know, I get this on some of my videos sometimes, and it's my fault for assuming that people have a certain level of knowledge. Sometimes we don't. I should do a streaming 101 video about this sort of thing, where sometimes people are reluctant to pull or to cut the cord, to pull the plug, so to speak, on their cable subscriptions, because they're like, well, I don't know, like, how much am I going to have to pay if I want to just, if I'm watching on Roku? Well, Roku is just a platform. Roku is it's a device you plug into your TV, or it's a device that's built into some TVs, and it gets you access to things that you may or may not have to pay a subscription for. But you don't pay any subscription just to have the device that you plug into your TV. And so, yeah, you don't have to pay anything other than the one-time fee that you pay for the device itself. Plug it into the TV, and then if you have a Netflix subscription, then on your Roku, you'll log into Netflix, and you'll pay Netflix, you know, what, $15 a month, whatever it is. But you don't have to pay that to Roku. You know, you may pay HBO Max, or you may go the free route and just, you know, use Tubi or Pluto or other free streaming services, and then you don't have to pay anything. But anyway, it's a good question. Like I said, I often kind of skip over this type of information just because I assume that people know it, but I shouldn't. Not everybody knows how all this stuff works. So that's a great question. Thank you, Rick. Okay. What's the best? This is a great one. William says, what's the best security camera you can buy without subscription? Are you saying, are you asking if it's Blink? That's a great one. What's the best security camera you can buy without a subscription? I'm going to send that one over to Steve. I think that's a great question. So yeah, I flashed the first four numbers of my Chase card. Guess what? That's the first four numbers of just about every Chase card out there. Yeah, I keep my wallet is now one single card, and my driver's license in the back of my phone. Oh, sorry. This is referring to Eline. Somebody said I flashed the first four digits of my Chase card. I'm not worried about that. I'd be much more worried about the last four. Fun fact for you guys, if you didn't know this, all Visa cards start with a 4. All MasterCards start with a 5. All American Express starts with a 3. That's just one of those industry things. Somebody taught me that when I worked in banking a long time ago. So yeah, I'm not worried about the first 4 digits at all. But thank you. I appreciate you looking out for me. That's good. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. What's the best hotspot subscription service you can get? Hotspot subscription service. Okay, great one, William. All right. Let's see. Seth says alternative to YouTube is Rumble. I've never heard of Rumble, but I may want to look into that. So I will. Alternative to YouTube is Rumble. Okay. Okay. Oh, and now I'm catching up and seeing Seth. You're spamming a bit with the Rumble stuff. So cool it on the Rumble. I think we got it. All right. So let's see. Rick was saying the reason. So Rick was asking about how much the subscription to Roku is. I'm saying there is no subscription. The reason the reason I asked is I heard Craig say the ESPN is a subscription. So that's why I was wondering. Yeah. So whatever device you're using, whether it's a Roku or a Fire TV or an Apple TV, these are all just operating systems that allow you to go to different streaming services. So think of it like a browser. Maybe you're watching on the phone, maybe you're watching on your computer right now. But if you're on Chrome, Chrome is not something that you need to pay for, right? It's a free browser, and or whatever you use. Microsoft Edge, did they come up with a new one? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever browser you're using, on the browser, you then go to different websites. And so, you're not like Facebook is not your browser. Facebook is a site that you go to on your browser. And it works the same way. Like Roku, think of it like a browser. And then all the streaming services are like different sites that you can go to. And each of those you will or will not have to log in, subscribe, pay, whatever. So, okay. All right, let's take a few more. And then I'm going to be hitting the road. I've got to get home today. Like I said, it's about 5.5 hour drive. So I am going to be hitting the road, but I'll take a few more questions. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Shoaib says, ever considered Xfinity Flex? Oh, are you asking me? Because that's actually one of our more popular videos on the channel, was a review that I did of the Xfinity Flex a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, maybe. But yeah, it was a very popular review that I did. I liked the device okay. I thought it was pretty decent. It was a little troublesome to get set up, but once it was set up, it was pretty good. But for those who don't know what the Xfinity Flex is, it's a streaming device, much like a Roku or an Apple TV or whatever. But it's a streaming box that is only available to Xfinity internet-only customers. And so the idea behind it is, hey, you subscribe to Xfinity Internet, we'll give you this streaming box at no extra charge, and that'll let you, cut the cord. It's kind of Xfinity giving in and saying, yeah, we know you're going to cut the cord anyway. Please use our box. And it's a decent box. It's not widely commercially available. It's only available to Xfinity only internet customers. And so when I got rid of my Xfinity contract, not because they did anything wrong, I just got access to fiber provider that came through town. And so I ditched Xfinity, and I had to give my Flex box back. So I no longer have mine, but I liked it when I had it. Okay. Roku expanded beyond just a platform. I love my Roku TV, which has built-in free streaming content integrated with antenna content. Yeah, no, totally. So there is a Roku channel. But again, it's like a website on the browser, but yeah, it is a great one. I love the Roku TV app, and I do highly recommend it. So let's see. What do I think about Parler? I never think about Parler, so not much. Let's see. To be honest, like if you guys go look up my Twitter profile, I'm not all that active. I lurk on social media, but I don't really post much on social media. I know I probably should, if I want to increase my public profile or whatever, but I can't. Social media is that's a rant for a different day. How about that? Okay. Let's see. Ever heard of Star? It's the Hulu in Europe. It's included in Disney Plus. Yeah, exactly. So I was kind of talking about that earlier. You log into Disney Plus and get a bunch of other stuff. Star has a lot of content that pops up on the Disney Plus app. All right. Good. Okay. Awesome. I think I'm caught up, you guys. I think I'm caught up. Oh, okay. Here, we'll call it with this one. Make this our last one, unless something really good comes in. What's your favorite premium channel? Epic, HBO, Showtime, AMC Plus, Stars, etc. Well, right now it's HBO. HBO though is it's becoming a different beast, right? With HBO Max, they do still have within HBO Max, they have a hub for just HBO content. So like HBO hasn't gone away. You know, you can still get it with your cable subscription, and like it's still HBO is still a thing. But as far as like as a brand, it's changing and it's becoming much more of a streaming service for the whole family. It's got, you know, stuff for mom and dad to watch. It's got stuff for the kids to watch. It's got superhero content and The Sopranos and the, you know, whatever. So that one, I kind of feel like while it's my favorite one, I kind of have to set it aside a little bit. And so with that in mind, probably Showtime. Probably Showtime. They've got some good programs. Obviously, so does AMC, but yeah, I think I might go with Showtime on that one. All right. Oh, okay. All right. It's to those of you who had to go, Bill, Deborah, see ya. Hope I didn't miss it. Show Up says, "What's your least favorite streaming service?" I forgot to ask this. Oh man, that's a great question, and I don't know how to like. Okay, how are we judging this? Let me pull up some of my streaming services here. What is my least favorite? And there got to be parameters for this one, but this would make a great video too. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a photo of this. What is my least favorite streaming service? This would make a great video. So we're going to take a photo of that, and I'm going to consider that for later. Okay, now what are the parameters here? I'm going to say no free streamers because they just play by different rules and they're not. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that they're not great and you know they're not all these things, but they're not quite as culturally relevant as like Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus. They don't have that same kind of cultural resonance, and so I'll probably keep it to the paid streamers. Okay, I hope that's fair. If there is, well, and then you get into, well, you know, what's a paid versus a free. Peacock, I would include with the paid streamers, even though they have a free tier, just because they do have premium tiers. So, and I'll throw out the live TV streamers, Sling TV, YouTube TV, Hulu Live. I'll throw those out. Just because that's more like a different distribution model for cable channels rather than like a streaming, like something self-contained in its own right, if that makes any sense. So what are we left with? Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime Video, Peacock, Discovery Plus. That should probably just about do it. And of the major ones, I'd say my least favorite, the one that I use the least, is probably Paramount Plus. But this is a purely subjective question. So it's the one I use the least. I never tune into Paramount Plus. I never go looking for stuff on there. The only time I ever really use it is if there's a show or like a movie that I want to watch, and that's the only place I can watch it. Sure, I'll pop in. Like if I search something on my Roku and it says, yeah, it's over on Paramount Plus, then fine. But otherwise, yeah, no, I don't really use it. I don't. Yeah, least favorite. There you go. Great question. Okay. And a video about NFL Sunday Ticket, where it may land. There have been rumors that it will land on Apple TV Plus, which would be crazy. Very interesting if it does that. And yeah, you mentioned that here. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Yeah, it would be a major game changer for Apple TV Plus, obviously. Thank you, William. I'm hoping my wife will do most of the driving because I am beat. But yeah, should be a good drive home. do a video comparing popular premium channels, or at least channels that have their own app or website. Okay, so like the Stars versus HBO versus Epics versus, or yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll do that one as well. Okay, good idea. Okay, great. William, this is a great one to end on. So, how often do you come on live? I enjoyed my first live here. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. This was super low key, very low tech. I hope it's fun for us to spend a few minutes chatting. But like I said at the beginning, because I'm on the road, because all I have is my laptop, I don't have my usual setup. I haven't been able to do all the all the normal bells and whistles that I have. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. How often do I go live? I go live every week on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So last week I was on vacation. Sometimes that happens, but as a general proposition, yes, I'm here every Friday at the same time on, same place, same bat time, same bat channel. So so I hope that you'll all come, and we do these weekly giveaways. So please make sure you go check those out. This week, let's see, this week's winner was, and now I got to pull it up again so that I don't say the wrong name. This week's winner was Kristen Brenner. Kristen Brenner won a 1-year subscription to Disney Plus. I think that's a pretty fabulous prize. And then hopefully the page has been updated. I haven't gone and looked yet, but make sure you go to reviews.org/giveaways and enter these giveaways on a weekly basis, because we're always rolling them over and doing new things. This week is an Anchor USB-C charger, but it's like a turbo charger. So yeah, it's pretty cool little device that should help in your electronics arsenal. Anyway, so yeah, William, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that the rest of you are here as well. Frank, you're welcome. Glad you were here. Frank, I don't know if I saw you in the rest of the video, but I'm glad you piped up here at the end. So it was good to see all the rest of you. Hopefully these are fun. Let's see, what's the best live stream venue? Right now I am using StreamYard, so that's a good question. I'm using StreamYard. It's pretty simple for me to simulcast between YouTube and Facebook. So yep, that's what I use. Just a quick question. Do you make anything from lives other than super chats? As a channel, I mean, lives are much like other things. They're like other videos that we do, where I think you got showed an ad when you joined the live stream. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. If you watch it later, then, they throw ads at the beginning. So yeah, they work just like other videos on the channel. We do have super chats. These have not gotten busy enough where I felt like you needed them to be heard. When we have 50 people, when we've got 75 people, it's not too hard for me to keep up with the chat. Once we have 200 people, 300 people, those live streams, and we have had them in the past, it gets so busy, so noisy that super chats do help people to make their voices heard. But yeah. Anyway, okay, so thanks everybody again for watching. I will see you next Friday. You should be able to see me on Wednesday when I release another video. I don't know what the topic is yet. I haven't looked at my calendar because technically I'm still on vacation. So I'll check it out tomorrow when I'm done with vacation. But you'll have a video from me next week, and I'll be here on the live stream. And we'll do something fun there. Maybe 1 or 2 more bells and whistles than we had this week. Certainly some better sound. So thanks again, everybody. I appreciate your support on the channel. Go to reviews.org for all of your home tech review needs for services and products and all that stuff. Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you share this channel out with others who might enjoy it. But yeah, I will see you all next time.